Howdy, y'all. So I wanted to talk about Beneath. This is a new horror action experience. It's very reminiscent to me of a BioShock and a Soma kind of combined together. So if you like both those type of games, you're gonna roll with this one. I played on PC Steam. Ran mostly pretty well. Unfortunately, with my playthrough, I kind of had an issue where the game kept crashing on me. So unfortunately, because I ran into this issue where the game kept crashing in the same spot, I was unable to finish the game all the way through, although I enjoyed my experience with it enough to where I would have finished it if I was able to. I assume with new updates and patches, this will kind of be fixed out. I played it on PC with the controller. It felt like it worked really well. This is a game that's built on atmosphere, but you get the option to stealth or fight back if you need to. As for me, I would mostly fight back most of the time. After the initial segment opening of the game, you start getting weapons and you get them pretty quickly. You do sometimes have to be careful with ammo. If you blast too much, you might lose ammo and it might take a minute before you get more. Although with my experience, I was mostly okay with ammo. I didn't run out too often. The thing to keep in mind though is that you also have little health vials, and I felt like I did run out those a few times. So even though I had enough ammunition and like blasting in, be careful because your health takes a hit pretty quickly. I feel like even simple shots knock your health down quite a bit. So if you're not careful, you're gonna end up using his health packs really quickly, and then you're gonna run out and you might get yourself stuck in a really tough fight situation. Although there is the option sometimes to do it stealthily. So in the beginning of the game, you're sent to this initial area to kind of get used to controls and the environment, and then you get sent to where the main part of the game takes place, which is this base. And walking around through the space, it felt like I was playing Soma a little bit. You know, you have these corridors, but some are dark, some are light, and you're going through vents a lot. I was doing a lot of crouching and vent crawling because a lot of the rooms in this place are kind of varied in terms of whether they're open or not. The cool thing I like about this game is that once you're in a new area, you usually can see the map right away, and it'll show on the map what's open, what's not open. Eventually, you will kind of circle your way around back, so a door you couldn't open before, you'll be able to open later, but it's mostly meant to make navigation easier more than like opening a new room with something cool inside of it. As you're going through, every once in a while you'll come to a room that has a radio log, kind of like a BioShock, to tell you an extra story, or you'll come across a monitor that has emails, or it might open a door for you. Sometimes you come across a room, there might be nothing in it at all, pure aesthetics, which I didn't love so much because I'm like, if you're gonna have this room for me but with nothing in it, like why am I going to this room? But whatever, it's fine. And then sometimes you have rooms that are locked behind security codes. And this is what I thought was interesting. I don't know if I really love this, but these room security codes in other games, those could be bonus rooms, but that's not the case here. Most of the time when you see a door with a security key card, it's for the main story. You're gonna end up finding a body that has a key card on it, but then when you go up to the door, you have to open the inventory, look at the key card for the code to type it in. And I felt like I didn't necessarily need that extra step. I would rather at that point just have the card automatically swipe and go in. So I thought that was an interesting design choice. You have a menu where you can bring it up and you can see your arm kind of like GoldenEye, and it shows like where your current health is. You know, the same colors you see in the Resident Evil. You have an inventory slot where you can quick slot your weapons. And then you have the map. Even though there's a lot of corridors and places to go, you are going from point A to point B most of the time. You'll try to get to a certain place, oh, that's blocked off. You'll eventually come back around there when the game wants you to through the story. You're just going from one room to this room. Oh, I gotta get to this place. I'm gonna go through here, go through this vent duct, and end up this way. So even though there's like a tiny bit of exploration, this is set up as a linear experience. So that's something to keep in mind. You're not gonna really get that rewarded for finding other stuff. Again, besides like maybe a little bit radio background, you might find some more ammo or health, but you're not gonna necessarily find too many upgrades or anything. The story itself is like interesting. It's not like the best story I've experienced so far, but they relate to character, and the character has a daughter, and you do meet other human characters as well in the game, so you don't feel completely alone. And you don't have quests per se. Again, it's linear, so you're just kind of doing, oh, this is what I need to do next, and you're going with it. There's no real side missions or anything like that. That's not what this game is. It is fun to play though. I had a good time shooting enemies and all that, and going from place to place. I like the environment enough to want to see where the story goes, even though I didn't feel like it was like the best story I had played so far. I will say my main warning though for this game is that there is flashing lights. Now I checked quite a few times in the settings and I couldn't find anything to turn off like the flashing lights. So if you're prone to flashing lights, you might want to avoid this game. When I mentioned earlier that there was a lot of ventilation ducts, for some reason a lot of these ducts have lights. There's lights in a lot of these ducts you're crawling through, which I don't think I've played a game that's had this many ducts with this many lights in it. So as you're crawling through these air ducts, not only are there a bunch of lights, but they're flashing. And sometimes there's like alarms going off, so it's heavy flashing, a lot of red flashing. And I experienced that a lot in this game, to the point where sometimes I felt like I had to look away from the screen while I'm crawling through these ducts because it was so much. So that's something to keep note. If you're prone to epilepsy or something like that, I would avoid playing this game, at least right now, unless they come with an update to turn that setting off, because it's quite a bit, not only in the air ducts, but even sometimes the hallways where there's a lot of flashing red or just flashing lights. So that's something that you should know going into this. I felt like this game was a good fun time. If you played Soma, if you played BioShock, if you like that type of experience, I think it's definitely worth playing. I really had fun playing this game.